Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mupo and Friends. I'm Holly Lombardi.
And I am Michele Mupo.
And we are brought to you by Mupo TV. You can watch all our shows at www.mupoentertainment.com. And every Sunday, join us for our live chat at our YouTube channel at Mupo Entertainment at the airing of our premiere of each episode.
Join us on Mupo and Friends as we bring you an inside look at your favorite celebrities and community leaders. We'll get into their lives, their careers, their passions, and what they're doing to impact the world today. We love bringing you relatable, fun, entertaining content you can enjoy.
That's right. And thank you for tuning in. Michele, I want to know, how was your weekend?
My weekend was Mupo awesome. I got my first vaccine and was sick the whole entire day.
That's not quite the Mupo awesome you had in mind, I bet. But it gets even more awesome because it's still not over. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back with our very special guest. And welcome back to Mupo and Friends. Our special guest today is a fitness transformation specialist, a bodybuilder, dedicated family man, father of 3. He's also a graduate, summa cum laude, from Auburn's University School of Business. He's a business leader who's built multiple businesses in fitness, and an author and a 10X speaker who spoke at the largest and leading networking business conference, the 10X Growth Con, which I also had the pleasure of watching him speak on stage. Please give a warm welcome from Atlanta, Georgia, for Russ Yeager. Hello, Russ.
Hello, Holly. Hello, Michele. Great to be on.
Great to see you. It was great to see you at GrowthCon again, too.
It was great to see you. I'm telling you, I've been doing a lot of podcasts and virtual events, and they're cool. It's cool to be able to do it from your home, or in this case, from my car today. But I love live events.
Hey, we love you. Let me tell you, I can't wait to work with them. I'm very excited. So now I want to get right into this, because what really amazes me is, like, you went from accounting to fitness, and it's quite a jump. So what gave you the final push to quit your accounting job and do what you do best?
Yeah. So, you guys know that, I you can't see how tall I am here. I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'6". I managed to grow up, tall, lanky, bucktooth, headgear, goofy, and chubby at the same time. So I had the big spare tire, around my stomach, hated going to the pool, had to wear the white t-shirt or get teased by my friends. Actually, I got teased either way. And I knew at a young age, I wanted to be one of those, fit, lean, muscly guys with the abs. And I, started running. That's all I knew to do. My body didn't change. Finally started introduced to lifting weights in my late teens, early 20s. And I really liked it. I liked getting the muscles, and I had some okay success. But, as you said, I went to school, got my undergrad master's in accounting. Sounds like a good career. Some of my friends were doing it. And I'm working for one of the big firms. We're working late nights, long days, late night business dinners. I'm in my 20s, so I'm partying, drinking with my friends and coworkers. So even though I'm working out consistently, I'm like, damn, like I never really got that body I wanted. At that time, it was all about, the abs in my younger days. And so finally at 27, I said, I'm going to do this the right way. I entered an international physique transformation contest. I hired a coach, got in the best shape of my life, won the contest, got sponsored by a supplement company, got to be a sponsored athlete at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic, started writing for some of the bodybuilding and fitness magazines, got certified. And people started asking me, hey, can you help me? They noticed my body change. Can you help me? Got certified as a trainer. So I didn't really know what I was doing at that point, but I knew, like, this is what I was put on earth to do. But I was scared to leave my full-time job. I was, climbing the corporate ladder. I was making money. And then, a couple of things happened. It hit me this, like, we have this one life. Like, what I remember shortly after I opened my first studio, I got interviewed by a local newspaper, and the reporter said, were you scared to leave your job? And I said, yeah, I was scared, but I was more scared of, waking up at 85 years old and wondering what if. And then another thing that gave me inspiration is, you guys heard me, at the GrowthCon briefly speak about my dad, who was my hero. And, he worked for he died suddenly at 60 years old. He was in perfect health, just one of those freak things. And, we were having what would end up being our last pizza together. Literally. Yes, I still eat pizza. We can talk about that, but I'm not one of those fitness guys that just eats, broccoli and green beans or whatever. But he was, super conservative. He worked for the phone company for, 40 years, same job out of college. And I was nervous to tell him that I wanted to do this, quit my job to open up a fitness studio and, help people lose weight. And he said, look, I wish I'd actually taken more risk. And then he told me a story of when his dad, my granddad, was asking him, as he was coming out of college, like, what are you going to do with your life, son? And my dad said, I don't know, but I'm going to be really successful at it. And he said, I know you'll be really successful at whatever you do. And that really gave me the confidence to say, I'm going to go for it.
That must feel so incredible to have achieved the goals that you dreamt about when you were a kid, when you were getting picked on, when you were getting laughed on. And here you are now in the shape of your life, better than ever, father of 3 and really rocking it and killing it. What did you discover along the way about the mind-body transformation?
It goes together. I mean, more people say that, and I think a lot of people know that. Some people don't know that. Sometimes I take it for granted because I do, study and work on my mind so much. But they're inseparable, and a lot of people. I'm 46 now, as you mentioned. I have 3 kids, run 3 businesses. I still want to look good. I still, want to be the 46-year-old dad with abs. But for me, also, it's the mental health, it's the emotional health. Now more than ever is super important. So the mindset and the body go together. As I don't know, probably in my early 30s, I started, learning about some of the, I think somebody gave me a Jim Rohn, I don't even know if it's a CD or maybe even a tape at the time, probably a CD, and started learning some of these success principles and mindset things. I'd never heard of any of this stuff. I was like, man, this is super cool. And so, I've every day since then, I make it a practice to, put positive things, into my mind, things that are helping me learn. But at the same time, one of the things I've learned, one of the things I teach people is like the fastest way to change your mindset is to move your body. A lot of people are doing, the affirmations, the meditation, mindset, all that stuff's great. I do all that. But the fastest way, you move your body, you do a great workout or even just get outside and walk in the sun, you're immediately gonna get in a better mood.
Ooh, I got a quote for you. Move your body, change your mind.
I love it.
Yeah.
Mine is don't wait to get motivated to move to get motivated. You say it much simpler. I like it.
Move to get motivated. I like that too. That's a tweetable moment right there, folks.
Yes,
there you go. You can steal my quote and I'll steal yours. How about that?
You got it. Deal. Even trade.
All righty. So how often, like, I know you work out all the time. When do you rest? Like should you go 6 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, a day off, and then go 4 days? I mean,
I'm so glad you asked that question, Michele, because when so after I won that, when I won that transformation contest, I got trained by some of the top natural bodybuilders in the world. And so I trained like a bodybuilder, 6-7 days a week, doing, and getting your calories really low so you get super shredded, right? And then started doing 2-a-days, separating my cardio and my workouts. And it worked. And doing the small little meals, and so I did the 6 meals a day, you alternate, chicken and vegetables with a protein shake every 2 hours, and all that works. But the problem is, and I started training my clients that way early on, and they transformed their bodies in 3 months. But the problem is too many of them went back because that's not sustainable for most people who have real lives, kids, jobs. Their life can't revolve around working out. So my obsession over the past, and as I've gotten older, again, for me now, it's more, one of my goals is to live to 100 at least. And I want to be, mobile, active, healthy. I want to be there for my kids. I want to be energetic. I want to, reach my potential in my business and help 10 million people, transform their bodies and lives. And so that's the biggest thing for me, but I still want to look good. We're all vain. I still want to have the abs. So my obsession over the past 5 to 7 years has been, can I, do a program where I'm working out 3 to 4 times a week? I'm eating normal foods. I'm not killing myself. I actually feel good. My life doesn't revolve around this, where I have good health, energy, fitness levels, and still have a good physique. And the answer is yes. And so now I work out, with weights 3 to 4 times a week, do a little bit of cardio, and I eat, I I control the number of calories I eat. Make sure I get enough protein to support lean muscle growth and repair. I try to eat mostly healthy foods. I'm not the best at it. So I, take some supplements to, help get more micronutrients in my body, and really eat, most of the foods that I enjoy within a controlled level, and don't spend all day working out like I used to.
I have a question. Now you say you work out 3 to 4 times a week and you regulate what you eat. What is your opinion of the intermittent fasting and the keto diets and how that works? Like, a lot of people are busy. So some people, I almost naturally keto sometimes, I say, because I just, I eat when I eat. And it doesn't seem to bother me. So what do you say about that?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked this question too, Holly. So when I, again, trained my roots, I was trained under the top natural bodybuilders. So it was to eat every 2 hours. That was the Bible. That's what you have to do. I was ingrained, like, oh my gosh, if I don't eat, I'm going to lose muscle. Like, I would really, when I did my first bodybuilding contest, I got into natural bodybuilding. I said, okay, if 6 times a day is good for meals, 12's got to be better. I would eat 12 little mini meals. I'd set my alarm in the middle of the night 2 times and wake up and drink a protein shake. Yeah, it worked. But it's ridiculous as I'm talking about it. So is intermittent fasting, I like to test everything on myself. So I've done, keto diets. I've done, low carb. I've done carb cycling. I've done pretty much everything. And, as intermittent fasting started getting more popular, it's not new, but it, just like anything, comes in cycles. I said, well, let me, I had some friends saying they liked it. I said, well, let me try that. You get to eat bigger meals. It's, time efficient. And so for about the past 7 years, I've been using that as a tool. I really like it. So the advantage is, you kind of said it, it saves time. I can get up, I can, work, I can, drink some black coffee, drink water, sparkling water, not even have to think about food. And then the other big advantage is I'm a big guy. I like to eat a lot. So I can, instead of eating 6 small meals that don't fill me up, I get to eat, 2 really big satisfying meals. And so what I found is that, and in terms of answer your question on the keto, a lot of people love it. Right? You definitely will lose weight on it. There's only 3 macronutrients, which are the 3 types of calories. You've got protein, carbohydrates, and fat. So keto, you're basically getting it, it's similar to a lot of the low carb diets. You're getting rid of carbs. You're getting rid of one of the 3 macronutrients. So you're going to naturally reduce your calories. The other reason people lose weight quickly on keto is every gram of carbohydrates holds 2 to 3 grams of water. So if you get rid of the carbs, you flush out the water, you lose weight really quickly. Your body hasn't changed at all. You've lost no fat. It's not really good or bad. But here's my biggest challenge so I like intermittent fasting, to answer your question. It's not for everybody. With the keto diet, my biggest problem is, the question I ask people, it will work. You'll lose weight, but how realistic is it for you to never eat a carbohydrate again? Right. If it is, and some people, maybe it is, okay, that's a great plan for you. But if it's not sustainable. And again, that's been my obsession the last 7 years, to find a eating plan that works, can give you, good health, good body, good energy, but it's actually sustainable and fits into your lifestyle. So you can do it. And I have some clients that do keto, but for me, if I can, have the body health energy I want and still eat carbs, that works better for me. And in terms of the intermittent fasting, what I found it all comes down to is getting your calories right, and getting your, to a lesser degree, your macronutrients, really your protein, but really you get the calories right, you get the protein right, and you're going to be able to control your physique. And you can do that with any foods, literally. Now, the other side, so that's macronutrition, right? You hear macros, that's calories, protein, carbs, and fat. The other side, though, is micronutrition, and the reason you can actually eat junk food and look incredible. And I have to be careful of this because I'm a fat kid in a fit man's body, but that's no good, because then you're unhealthy, right? So the other side is the micronutrition, the phytonutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, all those good things that come from, things like fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds. And so you want to get that micronutrition. You want to eat mostly healthy food. So here's to sum it up in a nutshell. What I do for myself, recommend for my clients. About 80% of the time, eat the healthy foods. So you get the micronutrition. 20% or so of the time, eat whatever you want, but without guilt, without saying good and bad and cheat days, and so that you can enjoy things and not feel deprived. But 100% of the time, or as close to 100 as you can, get your calories right, get your protein right for your goals. And that's something that you can fit keto into, intermittent fasting. You can fit, it's a framework where you can eat however you want. It's something that will get results, that's sustainable, and that's realistic for real people with jobs and kids and all that kind of stuff.
Wow, that's great. And you're a master at putting those together.
He really is. Mm-hmm. He really is. So like, I know that everyone wants to know what led you to the 10X program and how does it correlate into your fitness?
Definitely. So like a lot of us, I was in a mastermind group. A friend told me about the 10X rule, right? That's how a lot of people hear about Grant. I got the audiobook. I like to listen to books in the car. And I was like, who is this guy? This guy's kind of crazy, but I really like him. And I listened to the book in like 2 days, maybe 3 days. And I was hooked. I saw he had an event coming up. So I went to GrowthCon 2. That was my first event. That's where I got inspired to create my Body Transformation University program that now I'm working with, people all over the world, 7 countries now. And just stayed engaged. And I got on Cardoon University again, just like a lot of us, started going with some of the workshops, bought pretty much everything he had, read all the books, became an investor in Cardoon Capital, and then had the opportunity, as Holly mentioned in the beginning, to speak on his GrowthCon stage in 2020 in Vegas. I had the opportunity to win his first annual pitch off at the virtual boot camp last fall. And then they actually played that at the GrowthCon this year. So it's just kind of crazy, as I've literally been on his last 3 of his last big stages in the past year, which, it's been incredible. I mean, Grant, he does, there's no way he even realized how much he's done for my business, my family, me personally, and then just the community, being able to be in a place where people are dedicated to reaching their full potential, and they're truly, like you guys, like truly supporting each other and wanting each other to win. You see it in life. So, people want to keep you comfortable. And as long as you're staying in that comfort zone, everybody's happy for you. But you start to pull out of that, you make people feel uncomfortable, and it makes them reflect on what they're doing in their life or not doing. And then they start to either publicly pull against you or, maybe privately pull against you. But in that 10X community, and I don't know if, I'm sure you guys can relate, like, you get excited, you want to share a win.
I'm excited every time you say his name. I get it.
I know, right?
I can't stop smiling.
I know it's not popular to talk about your victories now, right? And definitely. And so, but the 10X community is a place you can go share your victories, and people are high-fiving you and, excited for you. And then I see other people. I mean, every time I think I'm, done something, worthwhile, Grant like kicks me in the butt. Like, no, man, you hadn't even started to reach your full potential. And I love that. And it's a balance for me, because I'm like a lot of entrepreneurs, I'm moving forward. I want to succeed. And sometimes even just hearing you, Holly, make me sound probably better than I am, makes me realize, okay, you've done some stuff. You should be proud. And I should be proud. And I do need to celebrate probably a little bit more of my victory. But at the same time, never being satisfied, because, like Grant says, it's not what you accomplish compared to other people. It's living to your full potential. And I really believe God's given me, a lot of gifts and potential, and I'm going to keep going as long as I can.
Amen. 100%, 10X on that. And Russ, you are everything and more than how I introduced you. You're an amazing, amazing person. I'm just so honored that you're one of the 10X people that I actually got to meet when I was new in 10X. And then I got to see you again this year, not only on stage, but in person. And we've been able to connect. So it's a great community. Actually, the new normal now is sharing your wins. It used to be where you would dumb it down, so to speak, around, people are always like, what are you doing? They think you're crazy, or they think you're in a cult. I got asked if I was in a cult when I started 10X. Literally, someone was concerned. And
I get told I'm crazy, Holly, so don't feel bad. So
well, you're a little cray,
but seriously though,
good cray.
But think about it. If Grant Cardone and going to Grant Cardone University, or Cardone University, going to Brandon Dawson with Cardone Ventures, if that makes people happy, we're not doing anything bad. We're not hurting anyone. No. In fact, we're actually helping people. Yeah. And we're like soldiers for them. You know what I'm saying? Like we really are duplicatable. because it's like, do you ever have a place like Russ? You said you were like, you had a little bit of weight on you. Did you ever feel like you weren't accepted because of that?
Definitely.
Of course.
Definitely. I wasn't, I wouldn't say I was bullied. But it was boys picking on, just kind of used to it. No big deal, but picking on, another boy. But it didn't make me feel good. And there's insecurities that, I know are still there from childhood, like a lot of us have.
Well, Elena had me overcome that in the 10X ladies. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for everything, the name Cardone, everyone that is about Cardone and just, it's all about being grateful. And we are so grateful that you're on, but we're going to take a quick break, and then Holly's going to come back and share with you she's got a question about the 10X stage workshop coming soon. So stay tuned.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mupo and Friends. We are here with Russ Yeager, and we were talking about 10X stages. So, Russ, I wanted to ask you about the 10X workshop, which is actually how we met through Pete Vargas and the 10X workshop. How did that lead you to develop the Body Transformation University?
Yeah, so when I went to my first GrowthCon 2 in Vegas, I always feel like Grant's speaking directly to me. He's like, if you can do more, you should do more. It's your duty and obligation. I had my 2 personal training studios, doing 7 figures, good business, but I was comfortable. And I got inspired right there. I was on his Cardone University. I said, what if I create a university, that's Cardone University for the body? And so I got inspired to create Body Transformation University, spent the year creating that. And then next year at GrowthCon 3 in Marlins Stadium in Miami, there was Grant was on stage and he was talking about getting attention, right? You got to get attention. And it's funny, this guy ran up close to the stage, took off his shirt. This guy was pretty ripped and was just screaming at Grant. And Grant looked at him and said, "That's weird, dude." And so I was like, okay, that's not.
I could see him saying that.
I was like, do you remember? Were you there?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I was on the virtual, and then he was going to come out with he mentioned that he was going to come out with his shirt off.
Yeah.
I was there, and I saw it happen, and then I think he got escorted out.
I don't know if that happened. I didn't see that, but yeah. So then I was like, man, if I can just get on that stage in front of 35,000 people, that'll be life changing. So I grabbed Ryan Tesco, Captain Ryan, who was his pilot and now runs his Cardone Capital division. And I know him because I invest in Cardone Capital. I said, Ryan, get me on stage for 5 minutes, man. I'm going to pitch Grant on combining Cardone University with Body Transformation University. It'll be awesome. And he's a nice guy, but he just looks at me like, dude, I don't think I can do that, man. You got to talk to Jared. And I didn't know Jared really at the time. And he's like, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. And so anyway, but he said, and then so the next day, Pete Vargas was about to speak, and nobody knew who Pete Vargas was, right? With all these other big name speakers. And Ryan walks by and he looks at me and he didn't say anything. He just points to the stage. And I knew that meant like, pay attention. So as you know, Pete went on to tell his story and talk about how he transformed his business and millions of lives through learning how to how to tell his story on stages. And then they offered the opportunity to join the 10X Stages program, which I was like, man, this is exactly what I need to do. This is perfect. And then they said one person who does an outstanding job with this program is going to speak next year at GrowthCon. I was like, holy crap, this is my chance. And I literally, and you guys, heard me say this when I spoke at GrowthCon, there was the registration form, And there was a checkbox that said include me in the opportunity to speak on the 10X stage. I crossed it out and wrote in, I will speak on the 10X stage. So a lot of people ask me, do I believe in law of attraction, manifestation? 100%. Like I manifested at that moment. Now, the key is I had to go to work. I showed up for every workshop, live. I asked questions. I did the homework. I didn't know what I was doing. I created my first stage. I rented out a local restaurant, bought food and drinks for my clients that let them bring their friends. I totally forgot to collect names. So I didn't even do it perfect. And we ended up making over $50,000 from that.
Wow.
From that stage, and then went on to do, well into six figures from that. So learning what I learned from Pete Vargas, and that allowed me to win that pitch off in the fall, because they teach you how we all have a story. I believe that God put a unique gift and message in everybody's heart, and that they are the only ones that can tell it in that way. But you have to be able to communicate. And so the way they teach you to communicate that so that you actually draw people in where they're listening to you, is absolutely amazing. And it's we do a lot of different marketing things. We do Facebook ads and Instagram and, traditional stuff and referrals. But if I had to pick one thing that I could only do for marketing, it's stages. It's telling my story, from a genuine people. It's got to be genuine, right? Yeah, but people tell. But when you genuinely, I generally tell people, look, I know how you feel. I've been chubby. I know what it feels like to have kids. I know what it feels like to be injured. I have one titanium hip, and I have one hip that's bone on bone. Like no matter what's going on in your life, you can, live a happier life, and having, great physical, mental, and emotional health is going to play into everything. Into, of course, being more physically fit and preventing diseases as much as possible, and having better relationships with your wife or your husband, your kids, and all that. But I found a unique and direct correlation between your level of health and fitness and confidence and how much money you're making. And that's why now I work with, a lot of business owners, and, a lot of things I hear, I don't have enough time. And then I help them. My first job is to help them understand it's not optional. Like if you had $1 billion piece of equipment in your business, would you run it 24/7, redline it, never do maintenance on it, and hope it doesn't break down one day? Well, of course not. But that's what so many of us are doing, to ourselves as business owners. So it's not optional. It's imperative that you take care of your health. And you see that in Grant Cardone. You see that in, Mark Cuban, Richard Branson. Like these are, Tony Robbins. These are just a few of the Oprah Winfrey. These are just a few of the people who attribute one of the top reasons for their financial and business success is investing in their health and fitness.
And their minds and their mindset. That's called your signature story, which yours is amazing. You also did it at the 10X boot camp. You did a pitch, which was awesome.
And that pitch was excellent.
Thank you. So I actually got to pitch Grant. It's so crazy. So I manifested that whole idea at GrowthCon 2 that I'm going to combine Body Transformation University and Cardone University. I got to pitch that at the pitch off, and we hasn't happened yet. But Grant's he's a tough guy to get nailed down. He's got a lot going on, but I know that it will add tremendous value, to their platform and their clients. And I'm not even worried about it. Like a lot of people, has it happened? Going to happen? And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep doing my thing and helping people. And, as he said, build a fire so big that nobody cannot ignore it. And then it's just going to naturally happen.
I love that.
There you go.
What does your ultimate transformation program entail?
So the Body Transformation University, I basically took everything I've learned over the past 20 years, and I've worked with some of the top, bodybuilders, fitness professionals, in the world, spent, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so I I basically have every single week, I've created a periodization program so it tells you exactly what to do for your workouts, exactly what to do for your meals, has healthy recipes that go with it, makes it super simple. And then I have, just like Cardone University, you both know, you're on that little 5 to 10 minute videos, everything I've learned on training, nutrition, supplementation, mindset, motivation. I have a private accountability group. But then the biggest part, so I really tried to design it where it would be a standalone, where people could just come in, just do the program. And it is, except if somebody, a couple of things, if they don't have a gym, right, which a lot of us don't have now. Number two, maybe they've got some injuries, so they have specific things they need to work around, right, Michele?
Yes.
And then the third biggest is accountability. Like that is the secret sauce, especially when this isn't something that's ingrained into your lifestyle and you just do it. And so I combine that, the access to the with either there's 3 different levels. So, base level once a week, they get access to me on a Zoom call, just like this. Group coaching, asking questions, they're checking in with the group. We're sharing successes. It's just that weekly accountability check-in. And then, if they want, they can have one of my individual coaches who's assigned to them personally, who's checking in with them daily, providing extra accountability. And then the highest level, which interesting enough is our most popular, especially with business owners, is they literally have one of my coaches, fitness consultants, meet them live over, in the studio if they're in Atlanta, or live over Zoom 3 to 4 times a week and take them through their workouts. So they have that customization, to make sure it's exactly for them. But most of all, they've got that person meeting them there. And so it's that ultimate accountability.
This is a very well thought out program. Love it. It's exciting just listening to talk about, let alone I can imagine being a part of it and actually doing it. I wanted to ask you, you've gone through both the 2008 recession and the pandemic. How did you keep focused and moving forward through the adversity?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, 2008, I had just opened. So into 2006, I opened my first studio. Bought my second in September 2007. Bought my third in January 3rd of 2008. So I went from 1 to 3 in a year. Undercapitalized, didn't really know what I was doing, and then 2008, it's like, holy crap. I put my head down, man. I put that that mindset of I'm gonna make it no matter what. I made some mistakes, definitely, that I learned from that actually helped me. With the COVID situation, and I was scared back then, but I was single, and I didn't have any kids, so I didn't have as much to lose, I guess. And now I built up my business, and when this happened, especially in the beginning, nobody knew what was going to happen. I just done a big, several $100,000 remodel at one of my studios, put all new state of the art stuff in, and I remember sitting there, I was like, oh my God, am I about to just lose everything? And then here's what I did. I plugged into the 10X community. I joined Grant's mentorship program. And I remember they did Jared and him did a whole thing on, when there's a big fire, you can do one of 4 things. You can either, retreat, and get burned up. You could put your head in the sand and hope for the best. Maybe there was 3 things, I'm forgetting. Or you can go into the fire and go put out the fire. And I told my team, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to put out the fire. If we're going down swinging. And so we just pushed forward. We kept marketing, kept investing. And, for a while it was hard. We got shut down, right? We're gyms. Right. And I saw the Northeast getting shut down. So, I looked ahead. I was like, okay, we're going to get shut down. Let's come up with a solution. If we're doing maybe every once in a while doing a Zoom session, but, to me, who's going to do Zoom one-on-one training? So I was like, well, this is the best solution. So we'll do it for our clients while they're, while we're shut down, just as a temporary solution. Well, what we found is that not only tolerated it, they liked it. Some of them are still doing it because guess what? Now they can, even ones that live in Atlanta, they can just roll out of bed. They don't even have to commute. They can, it's much easier, simpler. And then we had to figure out how to do it with some people don't have any equipment. So 0 equipment, over Zoom to give a safe, effective, personalized workout. And it works so well that we've started, like I said, that's our fastest Zoom one-on-one training. Now we're in, I think 15 states and at least 2 countries doing Zoom one-on-one, personal training. And it's our fastest growing, service. So, out of a lot of people that had to pivot, this has been really a blessing for us. That we never would have thought of before.
I was going to say that was your big pivot. And didn't you also come up with an idea about doing individual rooms and as opposed to in a way of changing up the gym?
Yeah, so I can't take credit for that. That's my the franchise I'm in, Fitness Together. They their whole concept is individual training suites, which is really unique. So you come into our studio, each client has their own fully equipped suite. So it's just them and their fitness coach working one-on-one, they get that personalized attention, but a lot of our clients don't want to, they're out of shape, or even if they're They don't want to be at the big gym on display. They want that professionalism. They want to make sure their workouts are safe, and they want to make sure it's a clean environment. This is also played into our advantage. Like with social distance, it's way easier for us to social distance, keep people safe and comfortable, and clean everything all the time. Having 3 to 10 people in the studio versus having 100 people in a gym all over each other. So I'm really, really grateful that again, and it was hard. We had our challenges, but I'm really grateful that the way we were set up, and again that we were proactive to pivot, because I know unfortunately a lot of people in my same franchise, they're out of business or are really, really struggling because they, some of them are still waiting to see what's going to happen.
Now, you said that your immune system is our best defense. Could you kind of show us some tips on how to keep it up in top shape with the immune system? Because today I think everybody needs to get that going.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, exercise and eating well, but I'll give you a couple of, specific ones, because I know people are looking for that. So one of the things, and I need to do more research on it, but I've heard from a couple of very credible sources, and it makes sense to me, that vitamin D, that there's been and again, don't quote me on this because I need to verify it, but no cases of COVID deaths where vitamin D was above a certain level. And again, I think it's maybe 40, but that like, if that's real, and again, the people who told me are very credible, like that's unbelievable news. And we know vitamin D, improves your hormones, improves your immune system. It's, good to guess one of the reasons I walk outside. Like that is huge. And that's easy. That's just taking a supplement, right? And getting out in the sun more to get more vitamin D. Another one is stress. There's something called, epigenetics, study called epigenetics. So, we have our genetics, some we can't change, right? Like for me, I had early bone-on-bone arthritis at 30 years old. But epigenetics is the study to show that with proper lifestyle choices, you can actually turn off some of the bad genes and keep the good ones on, which is pretty powerful. It means you can train, like if you've had heart disease in your family year after year after year, it means you're not destined to have heart disease, or cancer or whatever, diabetes, but through lifestyle choices. So exercise, nutrition, we know that's important, but the biggest factor in predicting your health and if you're going to have disease is stress. So stress can literally make us sick and kill us. And so being able to control, and we're more stressed now more than ever. So it's super, and it's different for everybody, but doing things that reduce your stress, whether it's meditating or doing yoga or walking outside or laughing, God forbid, or just spending time with people that are like-minded, like the next community, like it's super important. So one of the things I'll do, just a simple thing, is if I start getting stressed, I'll take a couple of deep breaths, right? But it's not automatic at first. You have to program yourself. Where, okay, feeling stressed, deep breaths. Then I ask myself a question. I'm like, Russ, is this going to matter a year from now? Answer is almost always no. Is it going to matter a month from now? Still usually no. Is it going to matter a week from now? If the answer is no to that, I'm like, dude, is it worth potentially getting sick and hurting yourself and dying younger about this? Answer is always no. And then that usually helps me let it go. But yeah, stress and vitamin D, in addition to, just taking care of yourself, controlling your weight, makes a huge difference. I mean, it's not talked about a lot, but the other, thing that I've seen and is that obesity, and I did see this on the CDC website, that virtually all of the deaths from COVID, regardless of age, the person was obese. And that's a big deal. So, we know, controlling your weight, having your health and fitness in check can help prevent, a lot of things down the line, diabetes, heart disease, cancers, all that kind of stuff. But there's literally a disease now that the difference between life and death can be the shape you're in. And so that's a huge thing. And one of the reasons I'm passionate about, helping people and improve those areas of their lives.
Wow, that's amazing. You're dropping some nuggets, some really good nuggets. We're going to take a quick break and we will be right back with more from Russ Yeager. And welcome back to Mupo and Friends. And we almost got a rap out of Michele. Michele, do you have a little rap?
No, I'll do one later. I'll do one.
Okay.
Later.
Okay. She's gonna
another time. We'll go
Russ
live
with a
on.
wrap.
We'll go live on Facebook, and I'll do a little spitting for him because I think we need to promote him.
So Russ,
I love it. I did a giant Jesse Itzler rap after GrowthCon 3. I had like 100 people come up and tell me they thought I was Jesse Itzler. I guess we kind of look like.
I could see that.
No, and so my wife looks kind of like Sarah Blakely, so we did a rap. It was pretty fun.
Oh, how funny!
Nice.
Did you video it?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God!
We got to put it up on the site.
We can
definitely send it to us. So go ahead, Holly, because I know you're dying to ask him this.
I am. No, we were talking again about fit mindset and how, fitting things into your life. I wanted to know, a lot of people, one of the biggest things, they start committed and then it's just about time. Like we were just saying on the break, how, we've been doing this and that, and then somehow the workout always falls to the side. What is the one thing that you do with your clients to keep them back in the saddle, like when they start falling off?
Yeah, I got to give you two. I can't give you one because they're both, I believe, equally important. Number one is from the get-go, getting them to make a true commitment, like, because that's where it starts, right? If you're just going to dip one toe in and, kind of do it, like, again, when I was 27, people have to get to their enough's enough point. Like, I'm ready to change. So that's the first thing. And then helping them connect, hey, you are investing this time, you are investing this money. So what's the return you're going to get out of it? Well, I'm going to, feel better. I'm going to have more energy. I'm going to hopefully prevent a lot of these health problems that maybe fall on my family. I'm going to have more energy, for my wife and husband. I'm going to, be able to play with my kids without aching, whatever it is. I'm going to be able to walk into the boardroom or, the office, more confident, woman or man, and, close more deals in my business, whatever it is. So helping them connect that, and then helping them continuously connect the work they're putting in to the payoff, their why, so to speak, and continually talking to them about that. And then the other thing is the accountability factor that I was talking about earlier. Until it becomes a lifestyle, which is different for everybody, I found it's usually about 6 months. If I can work with somebody really 6 months, they're consistent, they're doing this, not that won't need any accountability and it's easy, but it almost becomes second nature at that point. But in the beginning, again, having that person, meeting them, live, for every workout or at least once a week, to provide that accountability is huge. So the accountability and connecting to their reason why.
Accountability and connection. Are you a tough love coach?
I'm a tough love coach. Yeah. I'm not a screamer. I'm a positive encourager, inspirational person, but I'm honest too. And if somebody needs to have some tough love, I'll give it to them.
That's awesome. So now you've actually expanded your business, and you said you expanded it a little too fast. So what happened with that, and how did you bounce back from that?
Yeah, so I went from the 1 to 3 studios in a year, going into 2008, every studio I opened, it's funny, the first studio, my dad, co-signed on my loan. Otherwise I couldn't have gotten it. So he was instrumental in me doing all this. And then once I was doing well, second, third loan, this was before 2008, it was easy. They just gave me a check. And so, I expanded. So I was borrowing just enough money to open the studio. Who needs working capital when you're making money? And then, going to 2008, that was a challenge. My third studio, the manager I inherited, had all kinds of problems. And so it was tough. I ended up actually closing that third studio, actually ended up closing the first one I opened, I don't know, 10 years ago. I can't even remember, something like that. So I took a step back to take, more steps forward, and then have been steadily, growing since then. But, the overall, so I could go into the details, but the overall answer is just like never giving up and like failing. One of my early mentors taught me to fail forward fast. So it's like, it's the faster I can, get past, failures, the faster I'm going to succeed. Another way to put it is like, I'm always, you've heard of a ready, fire, aim, kind of guy. Well, I'm a fire guy. Like I just go. Nice. And, but I'm always going to, the guy or girl who's super meticulous, they take their time, and they hit 8 out of 10 right decisions. Well, in that time frame, I've done 100 things, and even if I've only 20 out of 100, I'm only either 80%, I'm 20%. I'm still getting more than twice as much done because I'm taking action so quickly. So just being able to recover and move on, and not see it as failure, but see it as an opportunity to learn and hopefully not make that mistake again.
It's all about the momentum, right? That's what you're talking about, the momentum of taking more action and less planning. Will you expound a little bit more on that and how your process is, like when you were building your business, how you moved it forward, how you planned it, didn't make it perfect?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just learning, getting mentors. I've used ever since I used the coaches to win that physique transformation. I've used business coaches. I still use business coaches. And so learning from someone who's done what I want to do, and then just and actually implementing. And people, every coach I've ever had, every organization I've ever worked with is like, man, you just implement. And I'm like, well, isn't that what you're supposed to do? But I guess most people don't. And so doing that, I can tell you this one, I have slowed down a little bit to make sure to plan and, make sure we're, doing things that are going to be effective. So I slowed down a little bit, still very action oriented. But one of the biggest things I've changed, I learned sales and marketing early on. And, that served me well. You have to know that. You have to have money coming in. But the thing I resisted and is the reason why we're not 10 times, 50 times as big as we are, is investing in systems and training my team. And I was literally like, we a few years ago hit 7 figures, and then 1.1 million, 1.2, 1.3.
God bless you.
Thank you. And I was like, well, I don't want to go to 10 million or 20 million or 50 million or 100 million because, man, I'm already killing myself. It's going to be like 10 times harder, 20 times harder. And it was the wrong thinking, and again, I had to get the right mentors. So I've been working again with a one-on-one coach, working with Brandon Dawson, Grant's partner and his team now. And so now it's all about investing. I've had to slow down a little to put in the systems, train my team on the systems, improve my leadership. Because even though I consider myself a good leader, there's things I don't have the leadership capabilities, to run a 25, $50 million business. If I did, I would be there. So be humble enough to go learn. And so now it's all about building the systems, building my team. And I know that in the next, 3 years, 3-5 years, we're going to grow more than we have, the past 10 to 15, because I've made that shift. And that's the biggest thing. And now I'm still working a lot and working hard, but I've pulled myself out of the trenches. And it's also more fun. It's not only the only way to scale, but it's more fun to see my team win and to see my team members, their personal and professional growth along the way.
Now, do you turn every single one on to Grant Cardone?
Everybody I can.
That's what I like to hear. So I want to, because I'm going to ask you, because you talk about delayed gratification, how it gave you freedom. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it, when you say freedom, I have a level of freedom that, I'm not working in my business, nearly as much. When I think of ultimate freedom, ultimate financial time freedom, this could be a whole nother conversation, is when you have enough, like Grant talks enough passive income, to pay your expenses. So that's something we're working towards. We invest with him. I love real estate. But having, a lot of business owners get into business because they love what they do. But what they end up doing is, again, unfortunately, 95% of businesses, I think it is, after 10 years, are not in existence. So only 5%, make it. And then making it doesn't even mean you're making money, just profitable. And even the ones that profitable, they're basically either a one-man or one-woman show, or even if they have employees, the business is still revolves around them. And so, I've really been working to create a business, that runs without me, and then I can be the person that's, pouring the fuel on top, so that my team can succeed. And it's just a lot more fun to do it that way. And it's the only way to get, to have true freedom. Like my wife and I, we love the beach. We've always said she grew up at the beach. We want to move to the beach. And then we see everybody moving to Miami, right, to be around the Tex community. And I was like, man, we should do that. And we thought, why don't we do it? But it seemed impossible because I have my studios here, this and that. But now I'm actually like, we have a 3-year plan, and I believe like 100% that we'll be able to do that, because I'm taking the time to do the work and create the foundation here, with my systems and my team. But you have to do the work, and it's hard work. Most people don't want to do it.
And you can call Elena to be your realtor.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. We're going to, you're manifesting. You're going to write it in the sand, and 3 years from now, Florida, here we come.
So, and it's funny. We literally started, we're in the accelerator program. So Jared did a goal setting and dreaming session that we needed so much a couple of weeks ago. Like, what kind of house do you want to look like? Look up the real estate.
That was a great session.
Yeah. You were on there. We started doing that. So we've been looking at real estate, dreaming and figuring it out. We figured, okay, we got to be on the water. And then a lot of the waterfronts we're looking at are like on the bay. And we're like, wait, we want to be on the beach. We want to see the waves coming in. And we're like, okay, this is like, and he's like, figure out how much it's going to cost. So like, man, okay, this is going to be, we got to make more money than we even thought we needed to, if we're going to be on beachfront in Miami, but that's okay.
Well, you got this. And we are going to take a quick break, come back with a conclusion and wrap it up with Russ Yeager. So stay tuned. Trying to get everybody to dance. Dancing is one good thing. We are back on Mupo and Friends with Russ Yeager.
Yay.
And Russ can transform lives. He can transform your body, your mind, and your spirit. And I wanted to ask you, Russ, many people got waylaid with the quarantine 15. Did the pandemic slow your fitness roll down at all? And how did you get through it? And how did your clients get through it?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it from a business standpoint, right? I felt sorry for myself and was scared and cried and all that stuff, like a lot of people. But I think the difference is that lasted about a day. And then I said, okay, what are we going to do? And we went to work and pivoted and, online. And we had our best year. So we were down. This is pretty cool. We were down over 30% in the first the first 4 months, January through April of 2020. And then we ended up 6% for the year. And the 2019 was our best year prior to that. So we definitely bounced back really strong. In terms of myself, yeah, I mean, I definitely, again, when I was at home, I was, eating more junk, drinking more. I did what most people were doing. But again, the difference was that lasted about 2 weeks. And then I said, screw this, like, no. And so I put myself on a 12-week, strict program and, summer lean out plan, which I like to do. I'm actually doing another one right now. I think it's important to have short-term goals for yourself to keep yourself motivated and, led by example, and actually was looking and feeling incredible. The leanest I've been in, at 45 last year and in years and years. And again, with clients, I had, I wish I could say they all followed my lead. Some of them didn't. They used this excuse to fall off. They weren't open to trying the virtual, and they fell off and are now coming back. And man, I mean, I had a lady today. She's like, I gained 30 pounds last year and it sucks. And I got to get it off, and we're going to get her there. But, I had a lot of people that dug in and they used this as a time to, I got more time now. I'm at home. I'm going to get it done. And people that have gotten incredible results. So it's all a mindset, mindset. We all get the same circumstance, but regardless of the circumstances, like, it's what you do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that summer lean. I like
That's
that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
summer lean.
12-week lean and mean.
12 week lean and mean. I can't even say Mupo Entertainment. He wants me to say 12-week lean and lean. But now you've made a bunch of mistakes, you said, with investments early on. Now, did you have any red flags and cautionary tales that you can actually share about it so that people don't make these mistakes?
Yeah. Did I say I made investment mistakes?
We did a lot of research.
You guys did, because I can tell, and I appreciate that. Like, I've had so much fun with you ladies. I have to compliment you because you're even just the introduction. Like, it was, I don't remember what I sent you. I don't know if I sent you anything, but it was like you guys pieced together. You took time. You did your research and took time. I'll just say that, and I appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate you, and Holly does do the best intros.
Yeah. So yeah, I've made, so I became obsessed with having my money work for me as hard as I do, passive income, which is a great thing. And it's served me well. We've made some good investments, but I fell for some of the too good to be true, things as well. And what I found, and I'm not saying there's not things that can double your money or triple your money in 3 months. But if, usually if it sounds too good to be true, it either is, or it's at least very high risk. And so, yeah, definitely. And I think that's it sucks, but I think, losing money, losing 6 figures of money, but I think a lot of business owners fall into that. They want to invest, they want to get into other things. I think a lot of people do it too soon. And I fell into this, like, instead of, making my main business so huge and successful that I have all this excess cash to try and invest too early. And also, investing in things I don't understand and people I don't know. That's where I got in trouble. Things I don't understand and people I don't know. So now I invest in things that I understand and with people I trust. Grant Cardone's a great example. Multifamily apartments.
He just makes me smile. Every time you say Grant, I get all excited.
Grant Cardone. I understand you smile. I understand multifamily. It makes sense to me. You buy good apartments, good quality assets in places where people are moving, and you manage it well. And then I know I trust him 100%. I mean, he's done it for 40 years and has a proven track record. So that's a perfect example of knowing the investment and knowing the person.
That's great advice. Those are 2 nuggets he just dropped right there. Investing in things and things you understand, at least being prepared, not just jumping into it completely unprepared. Russ, I wanted to talk to you about confidence, which is something you exude. And I know you credit your dad and your wife with giving you the confidence to pursue your dreams. What would you say to people out there who don't have a cheerleader in their life?
Man, there's another example of you doing your research. You really did. So yeah, my dad and my wife, Emily, definitely I credit to much of my confidence. My wife is my biggest cheerleader, and she creates confidence, so much confidence in me, believes in me sometimes more than myself. It's everything though. And it's one of the reasons I believe in working out so much. It's not just the physical. I tell people, again, you're 6 months away from making a lifestyle, 3 months away from a body transformation, but you're one workout away from more confidence, walking into your day, with more confidence. It's everything, and still a confidence in, and it doesn't mean that I always, people like, how are you so confident? How are you so positive? Well, it's intentional. I work at it. Like, again, I can be as insecure and depressed as anybody else, but I'm intentionally, working not just on my body, but on my mindset, my confidence, every single day. And I think the more you follow through and do things you say you're going to do, and then you have successes, that's going to build your confidence as well. But it's hugely important, hugely. And then being able to instill confidence in your team and others around you is another, leadership skill that you have to have if you're going to build a team.
And for the person that doesn't have the support team.
Oh, doesn't have the support team? Find one.
Grant Cardone.
Yeah. Find a support team.
Elena Cardone. Brandon Dawson.
Grant Cardone, 100%.
Yeah.
You say,
Natalie
well,
Workman.
I can't afford to do 360. I can't afford to, work with Grant, one-on-one, or I can't even afford to do Cardone U. Like, number one, I challenge that mindset. People can afford what they're committed to, but also, like, okay, he has so much free content. Like, get plugged into his free content, and
that is true.
Yeah. So find a support system. None of us, I mean, I guess you can do it alone, but I know I don't want to.
No, Grant says it's you need a team in the long run. You got to have a team. Taking everything on by yourself is just it's a way to fail.
Now, what are your next goals in both your fitness personally and in business?
Yeah, so I'll start with fitness. So like I said, I still, I'm definitely not a bodybuilder anymore. But I do, still follow, I still like the whole principle of, bulking in the winter, although bulking used to mean like gaining an extra 50, 60 pounds. I certainly don't do that. Like I keep my weight within 10 to 15 pounds, but I still like to go, I'm eating a little more in the winter, building lean muscle, and in the summer, leaning down, shredding up, just keeps it fun for me. Again, having those short-term goals. So I'm on my third week of my, 2021, summer down plan. So I want to get, really lean this summer, but, maybe not as lean as last year. It's like always finding that balance where I'm, maybe too skinny, but where I just feel really good, have good energy. I'm stretching. That's one thing I never did. So there's a lesson. If, as you get older, like my kids can wrap their legs around their heads, they're 3 and 5, as you, wow. And I did karate. I was so flexible. And then I didn't stretch consistently, and I've paid the price, and I feel so much better when I stretch. So now I'm stretching every day. I have a minimum 10 minute a day is my minimum. I usually do more than that, but 10 minutes I can wrap my head around because I don't really enjoy it. So I want to not only look good, I want to feel good. I want to feel great. I want to be mobile. Business wise, my goal is to make my 2 studios, to be both, individual, $1 million plus studios, and then to really grow out the online division and scale my business, to 5 million, 10 million, 25 and beyond. Brandon Dawson, I went to the Listen 360, 10X 360, and Listen 360 is our review program. And, I showed him my goal of having a $10 million business. And he said, well, based on the data and what I know about your business, you can have a $100 million business. Why do you think it's so small? And so just to continue to grow and help more people and, inspire people, help my team grow, make a difference, have fun, and, and work towards my goal, but also enjoy every day. Cause, the reality is we don't know, I want to live to 100. I think I will, but I don't know for sure. So I'm going to enjoy today.
You will. You put it out in the universe. I'm probably going to be around 107 before I leave.
107?
Yeah.
My wife the other day, I love it. She said she wanted us to die together at 105. I'm like, well, babe, you're 4 years younger than me. So am I going to be 109 or are you going to be 101?
All right. I just upped my age. I said 100, but now all you guys are going 107. I don't want to stay behind. So I'm going to do 110.
My grandmother, yes. May she rest in peace, 101, she passed away. March 31st. That's awesome.
So I commit to 110 years on this earth. And I hear you on the stretching. I'm part of a stretch lab and I love it. Learning like how to stretch, and it's aligned my body. It just, oh my God, it's incredible. It's such a key element of the workout. Russ, it has been such a pleasure having you on this show. You are just full of nuggets and information. Everyone can learn from out there. If you are not already in tune with Russ Yeager, I know you will be by the end of this show. And as you continue to follow him on his journey, we like to do 3 fill in the blank or fill in the phrases. So anything that comes to mind, I'm going to start and you finish. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. My best piece of fitness advice.
Do it.
My absolute favorite cheat meal.
Pizza and ice cream.
That's mine too.
That's everybody's.
And wings.
Other than Grant Cardone, if I could be, and Brandon Dawson, if I could be mentored by anyone living or dead, who would it be?
Living, Tony Robbins. Dead, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Ooh, amen. I love that. Awesome. Thank you so much, Russ. It's you guys look for Russ on YouTube under Russ Yeager. You can listen to him on Google Podcasts at listennotes.com. where he'll give you tips on how to transform your health and your life. You can follow, like, subscribe to Russ Yeager on Facebook under Russ Yeager, on Instagram at Russ, RUSS, that little drop underscore Yeager, YEAGER, on LinkedIn at Russ Yeager, and on his websites at russyeager.com and fitnesstogether.com. As always, thank you for tuning in to Mupo and Friends, courtesy of Mupo TV. You can find this and other episodes at www.mupoentertainment.com. That's www.mupoentertainment.com. And until next week, this is Holly Lombardi with Russ Yeager and our host, mastermind, and creator of Mupo and Friends and Mupo Entertainment, Michele Mupo. And we are over and out.